Hello everyone. I hope you all good. Today in this video I have discussed about the structure of Indian court system. In my previous video, from there you already get an idea about the role of the judiciary system, independent judiciary. So in this module you will learn about the structure of the Indian court system. This topic included in your syllabus from the chapter Judiciary Unit 3, chapter number 5. So let's start with our module. So here right now first you have to know that what are the structures of the court, then we will go one by one in a details of that structure. So let's see that what are the structure of our Indian court system. The first foremost one is Supreme Court, then High Court, then the district courts. Okay, so we have a first three that these are the three important court, or these are the three important levels which we have get. Supreme Court, which is that is the first one, which is known as the apex court. What is the apex? Means those who is in the highest. So Supreme Court is the highest court system, is the highest court in our country. Then it's come to the second level, that is the High Court, which you get in the state level. Okay, that in the state level you get the High Court. District Court, which you get into every districts of the state. So the state is divided into every district. So in every district you get one High Court. So we get it as in a district level. So please remember that Supreme Court is the that it is the only one court which we have get in the apex. It is the highest court among all the different courts. Okay, so the first one is Supreme Court, then under the Supreme Court we get the High Court, and then the district court. Now the district court also have some kind of the divisions, that is one is civil court, another is criminal court, and another is court of revenue. So these are the three parts which we have get under the civil district court. Under the district court there's a lots of things are there, but under that these three courts, that is the criminal court, civil court, and court of revenue. Civil court is talking about the societal issues. Criminal court is talking about the that the crimes or the murder or the any kind of criminal activities. And court of revenue is talking about that money or the money matter, that is called, or tax, like this kind of things. District court is also known as subordinate court. We can also known as district court as a subordinate court, means, or you can say the local court also. Now let's see that the Supreme Court. From the picture you can get a picture about the Supreme Court. So let's see that what are the composition, what are the functions of the Supreme Court. Just know a little bit about the Supreme Court. Supreme Court was established on 26 January 1950 it is located in the New Delhi, but previously it was located in the Chamber of the Prince in the Parliament House, which is known as the Federal Court of India during the period of 1937-49. So before the independence, or you can say from 1937 to 49, the Supreme Court is known as the Federal Court of India, which was located in the that Parliament House, in the Chamber of the Princes in the Parliament House. But right now, after 26 January 1950, it was established as a Supreme Court, and it's situated or located in the New Delhi. Now we have also knew about that one, and not only that, in this court we get the judges, that is the first Chief Justice of India, and along with that 31 more judges, but can up to be 33 in total strength of associates judges. See, in our Supreme Court we get one Chief Justice of India, okay, plus that 31 other judges who are helping for doing this kind of things. But according to the 2020 there is total 34 judges. From 30 judges it was increases to 34 judges, including the Chief Justice of India. So previously previously we have 31 judges, 1 plus 30, that is 1 Chief Justice and 30 other, but in according to the 2020 there will be increase in the number from 1 plus 33. Okay, but can be up to 33, but Right now in 2020 we have one Chief Justice of India, and that is the 30 that 31 others, one are judges are there. So total 32 judges are there. Now, how the judges of the the Supreme Court is appointed? The President of India, they appoint the Chief Justice, and other judges also appointed by the President, but with the advice of the Chief Justice of India. Now, the thing is that the one Chief Justice are appointed by the President, and other 33 judges are there. Those that is appointed by the President only, but with the advice of Chief Justice. Okay, so please remember that the Chief Justices alone are appointed by the President, but the other associated are appointed by the President, but with the advice of the Chief Justice. Okay, so President first appointed the Chief Justice, and along with the Chief Justice is appointed the other judges. At retirement, at the age of in the Supreme Court, at the age of 65 years of age, the judges are retired from his term of office. Right now, the current Chief Justice of our country is Sharad Arvind Bode. That is the 47th number of Chief Justice, which was appointed on 18th November 2019. Now we have to know about the removal process. How the judge of the the Supreme Court, they have they removed from their position. There's the two process are there. The first process, either they can self giving the resignation letter to the President. Either if the first one is that if they wanted to quit their position, so they can giving the resignation, they can do the things. And the next one is that they can remove from his office by the President only if it is proved that they are incapacity, they have no capacity, or they are misbehaved, or that they don't have that capacity to control, or to going with that process, or going with as a judge. So in that timing they are removed from the process. Now we have to know the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, or function of the Supreme Court. The function, first one is the original jurisdiction. Under the original jurisdiction, that what is original jurisdiction? That the Supreme Court, the peoples cannot go directly to the Supreme Court. The people have to go to their district courts. Okay, then if the district courts that give permission, then only you can go for the High Court, and if the High Court are giving permission, then only you can go to the Supreme Court. So we cannot go directly to the Supreme Court, but there are some reasons are there. There are some areas are there on which basis you can go directly to the High Court. In that timing we don't need this other two steps. So this is known as original jurisdiction, where that the Supreme Court are directly heard the matter. And what is that they're hearing the matter? That is the disputes between the union government and state government. If suppose there is a problem arises between that the central government or the state government, if the problem arises among the that many states, if someone is taking your fundamental rights, if the problem arises between the state government and the citizens, so these are the areas where you can go directly to the Supreme Court. Now the next one is that appellated jurisdiction. Now what is meant by that appellated jurisdiction? Appellated jurisdiction means appeal. Okay, now hearing case only when they have appeal against the High Court. Suppose that Supreme Court, they also give one another thing, that if suppose you are not satisfied with the decision of the High Court or the decision of the district court, especially the High Court, and it's the second one. So if you are not satisfied, if any person are not satisfied with the decision of the High Court, then under the appellated jurisdiction they can appeal to the Supreme Court on the basis of that. So the Supreme Court can hear the cases only if it is against the High Court. Okay. Next one is the advisory jurisdiction. Advice means to giving some suggestion. So it is also one of the important that areas where the President can request the Supreme Court to for giving their viewpoint, or for giving their opinion on any issues or any laws. And it also called as a that guardian of the fundamental right, as because the fundamental right that was that protected by the Supreme Court. If someone is violated the fundamental rights, then they can be protected by the Supreme Court. So for that reason we can say that it's a guardian of the, that the fundamental rights. And also it is known as the court of the records. Its function is for keeping all the records, so that it will be, that if someone is appealing onto the higher court, then it can be keeping all the records, so that the peoples are not harassed by that finding or to collecting all the evidence again and again. So it keeps the record and collecting from the lower court and keep it with them. So these are the areas, or these are the functions you can say of the Supreme Court. Now come to the High Court. Now the High Court is stand at the head of the state jurisdiction admin. In every state there is a one High Court, and in some time it is also happened that that the common high courts are there. So basically High Court that was established in first time it was established in 1962 into the three main cities, that is Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. Along with the above three one, the Allahabad High Court is also the oldest one, and these are the four most oldest High Court which was established in the first time in 1862. Here the judges, they don't have any fixed amount of judges, but in every court there have one chief justice and some other associated judges. So like the Supreme Court, in the High Court there is no fixed amount of judges. It is according to the population of the state, or according to the that cases which is pending upon that. How it was appointed? The president is in the same manner, but the thing is that the president is appointing the chief, judges, but along with the Chief Justice of India and governor of that particular state. See, please remember that in the Supreme Court the judges are retired at the age of 65 years, but in the High Court the judges are retired at the 62 years. Okay, please remember this one, that Supreme Court judges can do their office up to 65, but they can do up to only 62 of the High Court judges. Number of the High Court in India right now, in 2020, 25 High Courts are there in India. Many states have their own High Court, but some state has shared the common High Court. See, if I am giving an example, it is said that High Court means every state have their own particular High Court. But in some areas, the court are shared by 2 or 3 states. If I am giving an example, like if you say Haryana and Punjab, both are the states, those who don't have their own High Court, the both states have a common High Court, that is the Chandigarh High Court. Okay. Similarly, at the same time, all the that 7 sisters. Now the question is, what is 7 sisters, right? All the northeast areas, that Assam, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Nagaland, these are called as the 7 sisters. All the 7 sisters have only one High Court, that is the Guwahati High Court. So you can see that that the courts, it's not necessary that every state have their own High Court. Even sometimes some states they share the same High Court. Now we have to know a little bit about the district High Court. The courts that the most people interact with are called subordinate. That whenever we have some issues, we are going to our next to court, that is the district court or subordinate court. There are usually at every district level, or in the tehsil or in the towns we get one district court. The subordinate court, also known as in a different name in a different places, such as sometimes it's known as the trial court, sometimes it's known as a court of district judge, civil judges, etc. So this is a little bit about the district court. Along with that, please go through with your NCERT book. In your NCERT book, there's a 2 or 3 case studies are there. If you read that case studies, you will understand that how the court will be working out, and along with that, watch this video so that you will get an clear idea about the court system of our country. Thank you so much for watching this video. In my next video, we will talk about the different branches of the law and as well as about the appeal. Until that, thank you so much for watching this video.